Yes, these are my pants, but these are not my pockets. I'm not making it up, seriously. Oh my god, lol, what did you answer him? I had just started working then and couldn't think of a witty answer, just smirked and continued the search. I think he meant that everything else in his pockets, cigarettes, ID, lighter, keys, was his. But the bag of stuff isn't his. But who am I to judge? The man said it wasn't his pockets, so it's not his, lol. A friend's daughter and her boyfriend got caught with a kilo of weed. The daughter says, "Oh, we weren't going to smoke it, we wanted to sell it." A trial for drunk driving. The defendant decided to defend herself. During the hearing, she tried to present evidence, but the prosecutor immediately cut her off. The judge, perhaps feeling sorry for her pathetic attempts to defend herself, asked to look at the evidence. It was a check from the bar she left right before I stopped her. The check shows 2 large margaritas. Her defense was that I couldn't have been drunk, I only had 2 margaritas. The woman was found guilty. For reference, I originally stopped her for running off the road on the embankment to get to McAuto. My brother works as a cop in Detroit. He told this story. A call comes in. Someone's car was stolen. They arrive, and it turns out that first, someone stole the wheels from it, and then another group stole the car itself. They dragged it 2 blocks without wheels, leaving perfect furrows in the asphalt right to their garage. Their defense? But we didn't steal the wheels. Detroit. If we're gonna rub, let's go all the way. My boyfriend is a policeman. The other day, he stopped a drunk driver and he stepped on the gas. The chase continued all the way to his house. The drunkard finally stopped and says, "Well, I made it home. Everything's fine. You can go." Then he argued and yelled. It was 3 in the morning. The violator's family woke up. His son came out on the porch and yelled, "God damn it, Dad, we told you to quit." I'm not a cop, but I work in a prison. 2 prisoners got into a fight in the hallway. I was the closest and only caught the beginning of the mess out of the corner of my eye. I wrote in the report, both prisoners fell to the floor, one name was on top of the other name. Later, the sergeant read my report to one of the participants. According to the rules, the prisoner could challenge any inaccuracies. Sergeant, do you want to challenge anything from the report? Prisoner, yes, we didn't fall. I grabbed him and threw him to the floor. What could have been counted as a regular fight turned into an assault charge. Sir, may I see your driver's license? I don't have one. Why were you driving then? I wasn't driving, I was moving. My grandfather was a policeman. One day when he was fueling his service car in police uniform, a guy with a knife approached him and tried to rob him. Spoiler, didn't work. For those who don't understand, Grandpa just pulled out his gun and arrested him. The scene looked something like this. "Give me the wallet." "What?" "Give me the wallet." "Are you sure you want to do this?" "Yeah, come on." "Okay." Pulls out a gun. "You're under arrest." The guy is shocked. Once I detained a man who was shooting junk in the parents' room with children in the mall. I go in and he has a needle in his vein. We stare at each other in silence for a couple of seconds. Then he says, I have diabetes? I handcuff him, leave my partner to do a search, and read him his rights. And the guy has 87 convictions for theft. I finish my speech. "Do you understand your rights?" He answers, "Hi. Don't you want to go out to dinner?" And by the way, that's not the strangest reaction I've gotten to reading rights. Edited. Yes, I'm from Australia. Our system is a little different. Not a cop, but I used to read police reports often at work. My favorite case is a woman who refused to take a breathalyzer, saying, "I'm not blowing into this, but I can blow into your bolt." Stopped a suspicious guy near a neighborhood where a lot of cars were stolen. Asked a few questions and conducted a search. Found a bunch of phones, wallets, and cards. He claimed that all the cards belonged to him, and all 13 identities on the ID cards also belonged to him. He actually went to court with this and claimed he was innocent. "Okay, Mr. Jones, you are arrested on 12 counts of theft. Mr. Fletcher, you are also arrested on 12 counts. Mrs. Rodriguez, you are also arrested." Stopped a driver. License and registration, please. He leans over to the passenger seat, scoops up some lo mein noodles with his hand, and hands them to me. The guy was locked up for drunk driving for the 4th time. I still wonder if he really thought these were documents, or was it a sacrifice in exchange for mercy? My ex says the cop who stopped them, "I'm so fucked up right now, I'm shocked myself." I had an acquaintance who was later nicknamed Don DUI, driving while intoxicated. Once he was driving a drunk girl home after a party, and he was really high himself. A cop stops them. He could have lied safely, blown into the tube, and driven away. But no, the first thing he says, "I'll be honest, I'm fucking stoned." Of course, he spent the night in jail. And then the movie starts. It turns out the girl is 17 years old and homeless. She had no way to go, and he gave the police my address. I was 18 then. I lived alone. That's how I suddenly became her temporary guardian. What a beautiful night. Thank you, Don. Sarcasm, if anything. We arrive at a call to a residential complex. The kid was eating a corn dog on the roof and got stuck there. Firefighters remove him. I ask, "Why did you even climb onto the roof, and with a corn dog?" He's like, with an impassive face, "I threw it up there." And such a look like, "Well, are you stupid?" I was just speechless. I'm a dispatcher. A man calls and says, "I'm with my ex now. She's pregnant with my child. Yeah, we have a no-contact order, but we want to eat together. Please call the judge and cancel the order. We'll go to a restaurant." The officer next to my partner who answers the call asks, "Where is he now? Let's send the judge right to him." The guy hung up. A woman is sitting in the courtroom waiting for the start of the trial for drunk driving. 10-15 minutes before the start. The judge and lawyers are walking around the room collecting papers. The prosecutor offers her a deal one last time. She yells, "It's all illegal! The court is corrupt! How am I going to take my child to school now?" Behaves like a capricious teenager. There's a commotion and someone suddenly smells alcohol. And she, by the way, is on probation. She can't drink at all. The judge immediately orders a breathalyzer test in the courthouse at her own trial for drunk driving. Moreover, she herself came by car drunk to the trial for drunk driving. I handcuffed her and led her to the detention center, and she screamed all the way. I was speechless. No pity for her at all. I could barely contain my laughter. Near my city, a guy killed a woman. He put her in a large garment bag and dumped it in a vacant lot. He just forgot to remove the bag tag with his name and address from the last flight. Another genius was going to rob a bank. He wrote a threatening note. He put it in his wallet. And in the bank, he accidentally took out his driver's license too. And the third one just didn't calculate the timing. He has a long criminal record for theft. He was taken to the hospital after being beaten in the parking lot of a sports complex. He decided to steal a car after a lacrosse match. He kept telling the police, "I have no idea why I was attacked." Former cop. Ugh, I have a story to tell. Once a guy stole a car from a poor girl, her first car. She worked 2 jobs, just a sunshine. And for some reason, her phone was in the car. My colleague, who has the style of a stand-up comedian, calls the number. The thief picks up. "Hey, asshole, you robbed my girl. Freeze, I'm coming now and I'll destroy you and your girl. I'm waiting for you at the gas station on the corner of Main and 5th. No cops, no friends. Like a man with a man. You coward, I'll fuck you in the ass. Wait, you bastard." End call. I'm like, come on, is he coming? And what do you think? This moron actually drives up, in the stolen car with the ignition lock, still his lockpick. We're sitting in ambush. We jump out, we block him from all sides. He had a loaded gun on him. He's also on probation. Genius. A couple of months later in court, he said the gun wasn't his. They say the girl herself planted it. The jurors didn't buy it. We saw him hiding it under the seat when he noticed us. You should have seen his face when he realized he was caught. Later, he died in a crash trying to escape from the police in another stolen car.